Welcome to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast. Join Pam Perry, veteran PR strategist, Emmy award-winning producer and publisher of Speakers Magazine, who will show you how to crack the code in getting out there to get known. Each week, she either interviews her media friends, PR colleagues, or she just goes solo, offering you strategies on publicity, publishing, and platform building. So listen up to hear how to get booked on media places and on superstar stages. Now, here's your host, Pam Perry.
Hey there. Welcome to Get Out There and Get Known podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I have an exciting show today because I have a magician of marketing, the marketing magician. For real. He is a magician, for real. And he does know marketing. His name is Dean Hankey, and he is known as the marketing magician and People Pro. So just give you a little bit of background about Dean. I met him on Clubhouse, and amazing guy. Love him, love his energy, his spirit. He is the SpeakTacular EnterTrainer, marketing magician, and pay it forward and PeoplePreneur. Say that fast 5 times, right? He has traveled around the globe performing, presenting, entertaining, educating, speaking, teaching, preaching, and nagging about the proven powerful profit-producing principles of people performance and persuasion power unleashed in his Acclaimed presentations. So that gives you a little bit about like the creativity that you're about to experience. He's fun. And I can't wait to get into his backstory, how he ended up here. And really, he talks about really about success. And so he's known also as the Dean of Success. His first name is Dean, but over 50 years or more and more than 30,000 real life professional presentations and success solutions means you are getting a real road tested results getting experience. And that's what you're going to get from this podcast today. You'll hear a little bit about him. But one of the things he talks about, money making marketing magic, and that's an acronym. And I'm sure he's going to explain to us what that is. But a lot of it, he talks about getting rock star results and sold out success. And so for any speakers out there that want to know about how to really make it take off in 2022, I think you need to tune into this. So with that, I'm going to bring up Dean Hankey. Hey there. I'm going to do a little bit of magic right here. I'm going to do this. How about that?
Motion sickness.
That way the name is under me for those who just are listening or watching the podcast right now. But I was so excited because we met on Clubhouse and I really loved everything that you were saying. You were right on point. We were kind of like vibing a lot. And I said, I want to have you on the podcast because the podcast point is to really tell people how they can get out there and get known. And marketing is a big part of it. Community is a big part of it. It all involves people. And so I want to hear a little bit about your background because you do magic. I mean, you're out there in the Vegas area, Las Vegas, Nevada area. So you do that. But how does one go to say one day, I think I'm going to grow up and be a musician?
Yeah, and it started that simply. I was in performing, like doing plays and stuff. I was a 5-year-old. So, and my parents got me a magic kit off TV for Christmas, and I was hooked. And I remember my mom, who, by the way, is the coolest lady on the planet. She would allow me to go visit this magic shop in Campbell, California, where I was born and raised. So I'd go there, and this guy, he adopted me and shared, and he would never tell me how the tricks were done. He would only allow me to learn the thing, and then he would sell it to me once I knew how it was done. So it's kind of a reverse coaching mechanism,
right?
And so I spent
a mentor basically. Well, the interest was like it sparked something inside of you because it was fun,
right?
And you're a fun person, and so then your mom saw that you had the gift. Obviously, you had a gift. And then you got the mentor, and then the mentor just kind of pulled it out of you. And so were you always into like drama and plays? Do you sing too? Or is it just more or less like you do?
Okay. Yeah. So the whole music, magic, motivation, game show. When you're in the entertainment industry, you have to learn to master the art of yes.
You do.
Like somebody call you up and say, will you eat fire? Why, yes, I will. Will you dress like a purple dinosaur and jump around
and dance and tap dance?
Exactly. Yes. So, and, but that's the recipe for mostly for disaster and that's why the phrase starving artist comes in. You've heard it before, right? And there's an old joke it's not so much funny, but it's true. It's like, what's the difference between a performer and a presenter? What's the difference between a pizza and a performer? And the difference is pizza can feed a family of 4, right? And it's sad, but even as presenters, as speakers, authors, experts, we're looking to get our message out, get out there and get known.
Right.
And we have this incredible chocolatey goodness built up inside of us, this skill set, this resource, this asset, this passion, whatever it happens to be. And we sit here by ourselves going, right? So they need people like Pam Perry to come along and partner with them so that they can turn their passion into a profitable enterprise. And here's the thing. If we have the cure for cancer, if we truly believe we have the cure for cancer, something in our health, wealth, happiness, business, success, relationships, life, we have an obligation, not just a motive, but an obligation to share it with people so we can save people's lives. So, and as a marketing magician, growing up doing corporate, casinos, cruise ships, and mostly casino showrooms. So I was doing that David Copperfield, making helicopters appear and disappear and doing all that stuff. But in an industry, as you know, best recognized for our failures, the starving artist thing. So, so that's where it all began. And I figured out quickly that I was helping other performers actually put more business into their show. And they began to coach and mentor long before I was coaching or mentoring. And I discovered this really cool idea. And that is this, that if I could spend 30, 60, 90 minutes transforming somebody's night by giving them a good time as a performer, as an entertainer, as a magician and illusionist, or I could, in 30, 60, 90 minutes, transform the quality of their forever by giving them strategies, tools, gifts, resources, no contest. No contest. I'm all about the forever, and we know there's eternal consequences to the things we share as well. So it's important that we share our cure for cancer, whatever it happens to be. That's how vital, that's how important I think what we do has to be as we go out into the marketplace.
And that's the part where I think most speakers or subject matter experts or people who want to perform, or they say, I have a message to share, and they're waiting for someone to tap them on the shoulder and say, can you share that now? Whereas I always say, it's like, put yourself out there, get out there, create your own stage, your own podcast, your own video, your own Facebook Live, your own Instagram, your own Clubhouse club.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I said that. And a lot of my branding accelerators, maybe 2 of them have started their own club. It's just Clubhouse. I'm like, I'm not asking you, because community is a big part of it. So you call yourself the People Pro. What does that mean in terms of like building community? How does one go about starting to build a community? Do they, where do they start? Start with their friends, their family, people they went to high school with? I mean, people are shy. They want to present, but then they're shy about asking. So tell us what's your recipe for that?
I love this. And I love people. That is my heart's desire. And I care about the things that God cares about. And he cares about people and his people. And so what breaks my heart, again, like Moses, what breaks my heart is that people have this vision, this skill, resource, talent. And here's the good news. You can start with the resources you have. Right? So here's the good news, I think anyway, and that is you have friends and family. Listen, my mom knows people I don't know. Go think, right? And I did an event for her that had almost 400 people in it last month, and we raised thousands of dollars for a charitable cause group and organization simply because she belongs to this group and she introduced me. Now, it's pretty easy that we call it fresh fruit on the ground. It's not even low hanging fruit. It's not even the fruit you have to reach to grab. It's like right there. All you have to do is
It's
pick
all
it
on the
up.
ground. Right.
Exactly. So, so you have first, second, and third tier relationships. Your first tier is for family and friends. And then second tier is the people they know, because they know people you don't, you know people I don't know. I know people you don't know. It's simple. And then there's people that you do business with. Like, let's say I go to my mechanic or my barber or my grocer or my whatever.
Hairdresser. My hairdresser knows everybody.
That's right.
My hairdresser knows everybody. I mean, if there's anything I ever need, I think I just call her, and she just knows from a caregiver to a housekeeper to whatever. She just knows because she sees people all day and she knows people. So yeah, I know that is the fresh fruit. Those are the people that and I would ask her maybe from time to time, does she know anyone that wants to be in Speakers Magazine? She says, yeah, I know a couple of people that are trying to get into speaking.
Right.
Just a simple ask. Well, I think then people are afraid to ask, maybe because they feel like they're imposing on people. But I think maybe they feel like they're imposing on people because they never help people themselves.
Right.
So they may think that why would someone help me?
Yeah.
So the whole point of it is that if you're a nice person and you help other people, you can probably come with an attitude, maybe if you believe in God, that, it's going to, give and it should be given back to you. So if you give first, and you should not have a problem of asking not the same person, but another person, just because you have the spirit of giving. And that's what I really wanted you to kind of, because we talked about that before in Clubhouse,
right?
About how people have to give. They have to be the book we talked about, the Go Giver. They have to have that giving attitude. And if you're a presenter or a speaker or entertainer and you're in the people business and you don't have the spirit of giving, I don't think you're gonna make it.
Right. How can you?
Right.
Let me share then what I call the 3 super simple steps for getting anything you want on command and demand. Literally anything you want can be received. And first of all, the Bible says you have not because you ask not. So you got to learn to ask. Now there's more, but here's the thing. We call it the super simple 3-step VIP keys to success. And that is this. First in the VIP is first add value up front and in advance.
Yes.
Add value, then it has to do something very specific. That value must add or create impact or results for others. So add value that generates impact. And if it doesn't generate impact, the question is it really value? So it has to create impact, and that is results for others. They will then loan you in their influence, and then everybody shares in the profit. And the thing is, so it's add value that generates impact, and then everybody profits. Here's the thing. Most businesses do it backwards. They go for the profit first. So they go for the PIV. Pay me, then I'll add value. And that's just exactly backwards. And Pam knows this because she lives, eats, sleeps, breathes, drinks this every single day.
That's like someone asking you to marry you before you've actually dated. It's like, really? Like, I don't even know you. I don't even, there's no like and trust. It's like, I don't even know you, much less going to marry you. So so it is really about relationship building and people, understanding people, and caring about people, really caring. And so it's not just understanding and not, because social media has made it so that we can be so experts at ignoring.
Right.
And not really care. It's like, I've got a new follower. I've only got 30 new followers. Oh, thank you, my thousands of followers. It's like, oh my God, we're just collecting them like we're collecting beans or something. I'm like, these are real people. So I want to give a shout out over here to Patricia Avant. She's always here. And she says where to start. She's asking that. And that's what you're talking about adding value and impact. And then she says, family is always there for you. And you can always ask your family. If nothing else, they are familiar with what you do. Hopefully they're familiar with what you do. And so you can ask family. The familiar family is in there. And so one of the things you talk about profit. And so, yes, we're helping people. We are entertaining people. We're educating people, but we're doing it for profit because people will make an exchange for something that is of value, that gave them a result for some coins, right? So that's what business is. It's in exchange. And
Absolutely.
before there was dollars, there was exchange of land, exchange of animals, exchange of food, whatever it is.
Right.
Pretty soon it'll be exchange of cryptocurrency and digital stuff. And
Yeah. And here's the good news. If you want to do good in the world, you have to do well in the world. Because you'll notice the people that serve the most are the people that have the time, the talent, the treasure, and the trust to be able to do that. Listen, if you're homeless, are you going to help somebody else find a place of shelter and comfort?
Yeah.
If your belly is empty, if you're hungry, are you going to be able to feed other people? So if you want to do good in the world, you have to do well. We must. And one of the best ways I find, at least, is to create value is to simply ask your way to success. And by that, I mean, in the VIP model is to ask, what can I do? How can I help? Who can I help?
Yes, that's it.
And also, if I come to you, Pam, and I say, Pam, I value your insight. I value your input. I value your expertise and experience. Could you answer this question for me? Would you be more or less offended in any way if I were to ask you for some help? Now, I may pay for that help. You may say, hey, here's the super simple thing. Go here first, check it out on Google, or do whatever you do. But it's an honor to be asked based on your expertise. So you can ask. So ask your way to success. Ask. And here's what I call the 3-step formula for effective asking. Ask is ASK. So ask always. In other words, don't stop asking. You have to learn to become an askaholic.
There's a great book out called Ask. I want to say it's Jack Canfield and Mark Victor. I think it's Jack Canfield, but it is talking about asking, and it's an allegory. So anyway,
and the more you ask, the more you get. It's just a sheer numbers game. But the better you ask, and here's the thing: the quality of our success is determined by the quality of questions we ask ourselves and others. If you ask yourself good questions, you're going to get good answers. If you ask yourself bad questions, you're going to get bad answers. Why does this always happen to me? You're going to get an answer to that question. And the same thing when you ask people is, what can I do to serve you? How can I help? How can I encourage? How can I create value for you up front and in advance? How can I? Then ask. So the SAA is ask always. The S, and this is the magic, ask specifically. Because if you don't ask specifically, the brain won't know how to fill in the blanks. And you know this as well as anybody, Pam, and that is that you ask vaguely, you're going to get vague responses. Like, for instance, if you say, how can I help? People go, I can't think of anything. But if you say specifically, how can I help you get more bookings on your calendar starting today?
Yes.
Now they go, oh, I'm all about that, right? Or whatever. So ask specifically, and then ask, the K in the ASK is keep asking kindly. So in other words, don't ask always about what it is you want, need, desire. Ask how you can help. Make that VIP value deposit. And then if you help somebody get more of what they want, need, desire, and deserve, are they more or less likely to want to help you back? It really is that simple. More deposits than withdrawals. It really is that simple.
It is. And the thing that I like about it, because you are asking and you are helping, it just keeps coming back to you. And so marketing is an ING. I always say, well, I don't like marketing. I don't like marketing. I said, well, you must not like helping people, because marketing is about solving problems for people. And so when you say you don't like marketing, this podcast is really a marketing podcast because it's helping people. It is providing value. I'm introducing them to fabulous people. It is people they probably wouldn't have heard otherwise, because it's on, streaming here on LinkedIn and speakers and Facebook and YouTube and that sort of thing. And then I have your name so people can find you. But it's one of the things that it is something that I have done for a long time. Being a publicist, that's one of the things that it's just inclined to do. But even before I was even in the career of a publicist, it's just like if I saw that someone needed something, I would make that introduction, or I would make sure that someone else knew about it. I would write about it in the school newspaper, whatever it is. That's just like a natural part. And so I found that once I was doing that over the years, I was thinking like, wow, I really have a lot of people that if I have something, if I ask, people will respond. And it was like, how is that? Well, it's because I was always the one that was helping other people. So it is marketing. It
Yeah.
is like the basics of it. And then I
Sure.
think the mindset of it. And even with media. So with media, we can really pitch our own selves to the media today. We don't have to wait for a publicist anymore. We can go straight to them through Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever. And so I find that people are shy about asking the media to cover them or to write a story about them. I said, but if you put it in the mindset of how it's helping them, you won't be so scared.
That's right.
So how would the story help the media outlet help their audience? Not how would it help you get more business? Because obviously I could see why you wouldn't want to pick up the phone because it's all about you. And
Right.
they'll they'll introduce you to the advertising department. But if you're thinking like, okay, well, if I really want to make sure that and so that they just wrote a story in the Afro about whatever business. And my business is very similar, but not same. But I see that they wrote about it, and I can call them up and say, I read the story that you wrote. I have something that's similar, but a different twist. Would you like to hear about it? Then it's they may want to cover it. They may say yes, they may say no, but at least you made an overture because reporters aren't running up and down the street looking for stories. You have to pitch them.
Yeah.
You have to ask.
Yeah.
And so I always tell speakers, I said, subject matter experts, you have to ask, you have to pitch yourself and do it in a way that's centered on the person that what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So don't necessarily always ask like, what am I going to get out of this? But center it on how can I help them? For most reporters, media journalists, whatever, they have a job to do. How can you make their job better? That's really it. Make it easy.
Yep.
Send them questions in advance, send them good pictures, send them story ideas, send them segment ideas, whatever you could do to make their life easier. That's what you do.
Yep.
You won't be so hesitant. And then send them a good press release. Obviously, that'll help as well. But don't just send a press release, but also tell them why you are sending that press release. And that's what the pitch is. So that's really, really, really key.
Yeah, it's VIP. It's add value to the people. What's the end in mind outcome that you can serve them the most, and then simply ask more. You know, I say ask, and sometimes the T is silent. So our task is to ask.
I like
Right?
that. And be an askaholic. And that's what
right.
Patricia says. She said, be an askaholic. It's like, be askaholic like
Yeah.
that. It's like, yes, to be an askaholic. And I really do think, even like when the podcast, I'm doing the podcast, I'm on episode, I think over 60 now.
I know.
And people say,
Wow.
well, some of them I do solo, and then some of them I do with guests. And says, well, how do you get your guests? I said, well, one, I said, Dean, I met on Clubhouse. So I listened to a couple of times and I checked him out and things like that. So I just asked him to be on the show. And, you know, I give him a link and that sort of thing, and he can schedule at his convenience. I said, but for the most part, everyone that I ask, there's been no one that has said no. Because if I tell them what the show is about and how they can bring value to the show, then they say, yes, I'm all about that. Now, there are probably some people that are scared to ask people to be on their show. And it's like, why is that? And so part of it is just really being what you are is a people pro, understanding people, caring about people, knowing that what you have, the cure for cancer or whatever it is that you're bringing to the world is important. And then you want to make sure that you're sharing that. It's so basic that I think in terms of the internet world now, people get so confused. It's like, oh, I got to write great copy. I got to have these funnels and I got to be on TikTok. Or, I mean, they could get so distracted with so many different things. It's like, it is really basic, like talking to a person, seeing what problem they have. If you can solve it, you've got a winner. And if you're going to make profit or you make a relationship, a joint venture, whatever it is. I mean, it's that simple. So not to say the internet is not, I mean, we're streaming, we're on different platforms and that sort of thing. But hey, if I had to figure out how to set it up myself, like create the StreamYard, I'll be in trouble. But all I have to do is just really use it. And that's what these tools are for. And I tell everyone all the time, I said on our phones, I said, these things are complicated. You know why? Because they want everyone to use it, even kids. So it's not going to be hard. They're not trying to trick you.
Yeah.
I'm saying they're not trying to trick you. Marketing is not a trick. It's really easy. Writing copy should be conversational. And you talked about that too. You had you're doing something where you gave out like a little document, but you talked about writing copy. So explain to people about writing copy. Really, it's just your words on paper, but
Sure. And again, and I hate to be this, kind of go back to the same old thing, but it's value. What value? What does your copy? What does your headline? Because your headline is what was referred to as the ad for the ad. If you're creating conversation, if your headline is not good, doesn't stop people dead in their tracks to cause them to want to read the subheadline, then the body copy, and potentially the CTA, call to action, free or fee, doesn't matter. But so the headline. So what's going to stop people dead in their tracks? Is it going to be something like "Buy my crap," or the 3 top keys to make more money starting as soon as tomorrow, or whatever? And it's always for other people. OS2, others oriented success solutions. So it's for them. And if you just find ways to be of value, making more deposits than withdrawals, your business will grow.
That's it.
If you make more withdrawals than deposits, then you're going to have a problem in the world. So
it was one of my first jobs that I had coming out of college, and I thought I was going to be. Well, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was majoring in advertising. I like journalism. I like newspapers. I like reporting. I didn't like hard news. I wanted to do features. So anyway, I ended up in the advertising department, and I wrote copy for the ads. But in order to write copy for the ads, I had a lot of retailers I had to go and see in a day, sometimes up to 10, and I'm writing copy. So you have to interview them. You have to understand their business and enough of it. So you've got to understand all of their businesses, and then figure out what will make people want to, once they read that ad, come to their store. So that was it. It wasn't about how great they were,
right,
even though they could have been great, but that headline was like double the size of the ad, it was like very, very big. And then you got the big picture because people are visually, but really that headline, like what you said, is making sure that the headline speaks to them. What's in it for the person who's reading it? What are they going to get out of that? And that is really key for anything, for our social media, for our podcast titles, for our Clubhouse, any of those things. It took me a while to kind of get to figure out what kind of Clubhouse titles work and which ones didn't. And they are always about what you're going to learn, because they're those kind of things. But yeah, that is one of the key things. And I just, one of the things why we vibe is because you understand that. And I just love the fact that you're a speaker that has that marketing and also has the magic. It's just like it's a whole different way of looking at it. I wish some of the speakers that could all do the, because you said you really did it from the standpoint from the stage presence and performing and that sort of thing, trying to get people engaged. But if a speaker, because you had to come outside of yourself in order to project, right, to make sure that people feel something. I think that's like where a lot of speakers probably need to start first, like really getting that stage present first before they really start doing the marketing. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing for another day. I mean, you could go to Toastmasters and things like that and get a speaker coach, but you do have to have that, I guess I got this for you so you could see this. That's magic. That here. And then there's another one that I had. Oh my goodness. I brought it so that you could actually see it, Dean. It was, oh my goodness. Where is it? I had 2. Well, anyway, this is one. Sierra gave me one that lights up, and I'm like so excited about. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I said, I've got it. So there it is.
I love it. I love it. And then in today's digital age, even something as innocuous as a light up star wand can make the difference between you and another presenter that is totally forgettable.
Yes.
It's not that difficult.
Yes. And that's what I really, really like, that what you talk about, because it's some of those things that I think people forget, and you remind them, but you show them because you actually are doing it. You're doing it, and you do it in your videos, and when you come on Clubhouse, the energy that you bring and all of that, it's just really, really good. So thank you so much. Patricia over here, she's laughing. Well, I knew that I had to bring my magic wand because I was going to talk with the marketing magician. So I was like,
Yeah.
I have to find it. So Sierra gave me this, and she says, "Oh, this is going to be great." Because I always tell people, I says, it takes work. It does
Mhm.
take work. It's not just magic. I wish I could wave a magic wand and really just like have CNN, the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, call you. I said, but it does take. You have to start with baby steps, and you have to know the news cycles, and there's so many other things. I said, so if I had a wand, if I could do that, I would, and so that's where I got the wand from. That was
That's
the
right.
first one, because I kind of make that point. It says, it's going to take some work. Are you with me? And I was
That's
like,
right.
I'm with you. And
Yep.
sometimes it may take 3 months, sometimes 6 months, sometimes it may take a year. I just had a client just recently. She's got opportunity to go on 60 Minutes next year. She just got her first TEDx talk.
Awesome.
Another client just won a pageant. She really, I mean, she's at that age where it's not senior, but almost close to 50, winning her first beauty pageant, that kind
Wow.
of thing. So,
That's awesome.
just different things like that, where it's
Yeah.
just like, it took some time. It took a lot. And just being deliberate and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, Dean, what do you have coming up that you want to let people know about? I have that people can go to deanhankey.com and they can find out information there. And then also, too, I have my Ready, Set, Go, Speak for people who really want to know about marketing and that sort of thing from the ground level. But what do you have coming up that people can join? Maybe your Facebook group or what?
Sure. Well, right now we're doing our not so secret Santa success giveaway, which is a season of success, support, and encouragement with no ugly opt-in, no funky funnels, no slimy sales page, and all that.
Funnels. People love funnels. I mean, that
Hey,
became the term of
there's
the last few years. What's your funnel like? I'm like, oh my God, we got these terms here, these marketing terms, but yeah, no funky funnel, no slimy sales page. I
Right.
love it and love it.
Yeah. So, and you can go to payitforwardandprofit.com, payitforwardandprofit.com. And there's literally hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of gifts and tools and resources to grow your speaking business and help you get more done, have more fun, generate more influence, impact, and income in your business and in your life. And again, it's just give away. It's the VIP principle. Add value. If you like what you see, maybe you'll want to know more and you'll reach out. And there's no slimy selling. That's the thing. The more you serve, the less you'll ever have to sell anything.
Yes, that's so true.
Really is that simple.
And it's called Pay It
Forward and Profit.
Okay.
Pay it forward and profit.com.
Okay. Okay.
So,
I've got it. I've got
no
to
problem.
change it here.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So they can pay it forward. Oh, definitely. You got to pay it forward.
And profit.
I get it. Duh. There we go. Pay it forward and profit. And then there is that pay it forward. So when you pay it forward, you profit.
That's right.
I love it. Okay. So that's where they go. Pay it forward and profit.com.
Exactly.
All right. I did my magic right there. So you see that.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much. This has really been good. You are such a delight. You really are refreshing. Do you do shows still out in the
I still do some live entertainment, but I mostly use the magic that I use as a teaching tool and a visual metaphor. So it helps people to go deeper into what it is we're talking about. So, because again, as Maya would say so prolifically, it's not what you say, it's not what you do, it's how you make them feel.
Yeah,
will make all the difference in the world. So our job is to help people feel.
Yes, that is it. And people will remember that more so than anything. So thank you. I was just saying that because if I come out that way, I want to know. So if you have something going on, you make sure that you let me know because I want to see you in person anyway. So that would be cool. Coming from Detroit and going out west, you guys got a little bit better weather than us. So especially in the first 3 months of the year, definitely let me know because I definitely want to get out of this Michigan winter. So definitely let me know that will be a cool thing. Yeah. All right. Well, you stay safe. Have a great holiday. Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us today, for hanging out with us. And again, payitforwardandprofit.com. You want to make sure that you do that. All righty. So God bless. And remember, go to Ready, Set, Go, Speak if you're interested in really trying to get your speaking more on the ground and get out there and get known, because we take you from soup to nuts, everything you need to do, starting with the Branding Accelerator digital course, which is in there. And then you actually know how to reach out to the media if you got to ask. I think we kind of said that. We kind of reiterated that. You got to ask, but you got to learn how to ask right. And so the Ready, Set, Go, Speak is a membership program. They'll give you that confidence to make sure that you're going out and asking the right people, the right questions. That's really, really key. All righty. Thank you, Dean. I will talk to you soon. All right. God bless.
Bless you.
Bye-bye.
Hey.
You've been listening to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast, brought to you by PamPerryPR.com, where you'll get insider tips on how to build your platform, pitch the media, and promote yourself with confidence. Head over to PamPerryPR.com and get the exclusive video training on the 7 must-have marketing materials you need before you pitch in order to be considered in media places or superstar stages. PamPerryPR.com, where you help you shine like